Hi, this is Everett from Everett's Watercolors. Welcome back to my classroom. Today I'm going to go over some questions I've had about masking. And masking is to protect the white of the paper so that you can go back in and do some more details later on. But this is going to be a 4-part series, and today is going to be an introduction into the overall category of masking. And then the follow-on series of 4, I'm going to take each one and go into more detail and actually show you my applications. So go over to my painting board now and let's get started. This is a chart I made up a long time ago on masking, but this is very apropos for today's discussion to give you an overview. This is an introduction to the masking techniques and also the types of masking. The first one is Frisket Film. Now, for a large area, the sky or other places that are large that you need to have covered, I use what they call Frisket Film, and it comes in a 9x12 sheet, and you take the sheet out, and for example over here, the first thing you do your sketch. Here's a sailboat with a sail. You do your sketch in pencil, and then you peel off the masking surface here, and you apply it here to the paper. And then you take an X-Acto knife, and then you cut out the shape that you want to protect, in this case the sail on this sailing boat. And over here, this was just some tree line, and behind it was some colors behind that, okay? Just to give you an idea. And then once you put the Frisket Film down, and then you go back in and paint the background behind it. Over here, different colors behind it, but then the white of the area has been protected with the Frisket Film. Now, the second category is a liquid Frisket. The brand that I use, there are several brands out there on the market, but the brand I use is what they call Incredible White Mask. And it's to put highlights around different areas, for example, a bush or a tree or on a building. But to apply this, you really need a couple things. What I use an old brush and a little bars of ivory soap. And then what I'll do is I'll wet the end of the brush and coat it with the ivory soap, and then I'll dip it into the bottle and then apply it with a brush. I've also taken a natural sponge, and I'll pour some of this down a little dish, and I'll actually use a natural sponge and go back in and put a design with a sponge. And also a splatter. I can pick it up with a brush and then do a little technique with the end of the brush to drop it down on the paper. And now again, once the masking fluid has dried here, then you apply the brush color, the background colors, or whatever you're going to. This is trees, whatever other colors are in your painting, but your whites are protected. Now the next thing you do after the paint has dried, then you go back in with a rubber cement pickup. This is a special little sponge or rubber compound, and then you go in and you take off the rubber cement, which is the Frisket, liquid Frisket, and what you have left behind is the white paper. Now the third masking tool that I use is called the Masquepen. Now the Masquepen comes in a small bottle. It's a little applicator. Actually, the masking fluid's inside the bottle, and the pen has a application, has a little tip on it, and then you can apply the liquid over here, and it comes out in a real fine. You see the fine lines you can make with it. Again, you let this dry, and then you paint around it or over it, which is protecting the white. And then once it's dry, again, you use the rubber cement pickup to pick off the Masquepen fluid, and then the whites are left behind. So this is good for small areas. It's good for small areas and for highlights in a painting. Also, because it's so portable and so easy to carry, I use this in my Plein Air. I'll have a tube of this with me in my Plein Air kit, so that if I'm out painting outdoors, I can very quickly mask in a small area or highlight a small area, and then when it dries, I'm ready to paint again to protect the white. So it's good for Plein Air application. Okay, that was an introduction to the masking materials and the types of masking that I use in some of my paintings. This is an introductory to my masking techniques, and I'll be following this up with more detail on actually how to apply some of these materials to an actual painting. So subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay abreast of when my next video is coming out, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.